Sorry, I'm all nastified. It's a nice sunny day out. My back is killing me and my neck is killing me. Now, a while back, some random stranger helped me out with something that I didn't know how to do. A random stranger showed me how to use the Bluetooth thing. Unlike hundreds of other people who, even right there in front of me in person, knowing how to do those things, wanted to make my experiences into a conversation so that they could treat me like I'm fucking retarded. A random stranger showed me how to do that. When I ask you to teach me how to do something, I'm asking you to teach me how. You can show me how right then and there if you make the effort instead of being a piece of shit to me. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you by connecting this Bluetooth device to a telephone by myself because somebody actually showed me instead of talking at me for fucking hours on end. Telling me how easy it is, treating me like I'm a fucking retard. Instead of showing me how to do it, they treat me like I'm fucking stupid because nobody showed me how. Let me tell you what it's like on a construction site if somebody doesn't know how to do something. Yeah, sure, you might make a couple of jokes about the board stretcher, but really your boss is gonna fucking fire you if you fucking pull that shit for a goddamn month. You got work to do. Fucking do the goddamn work. If you got somebody who's new on a job site and they don't know how to do something, or they don't know how to run something, or you're asking them to go grab you something that they don't know what the fuck it is, either you can spend a whole bunch of time treating them like they're a fucking retard, having you bring one thing back at a fucking time, or you can walk 10 goddamn paces to the fucking toolbox. You can pick up the fucking tool. You can show it to him and tell him this is a fucking screwdriver. Now, you might assume that everybody should know what a fucking screwdriver is. And maybe that's not the best example because of that. Maybe you said a sawzall. Well, if all you need is a saw and they bring you a handsaw, you said a sawzall is what you're after. They don't know what a fucking sawzall is. Are you going to keep them in the dark for 3 weeks about what a sawzall is? Are you going to do something sarcastic like, well, you can look it up, but you need to look it up on your own time? No, that is all a fucking waste of time. That is all shit that makes it impossible for you to fucking build a goddamn house. Kind of like this fantasy. The guys spend all their time on a job site talking about your fucking vagina. Are you fucking stupid? I've helped build lots of houses. We've had lots of perverts on the job site. And the only time that you are literally ever stuck with a fucking pervert is when your boss is the fucking pervert. When David Roop in Chapel, Nebraska is your boss, and all of his time is spent talking about dumb cunts who won't give him any pussy, just like Mossam Vajan does, you don't want to fucking work for the guy. Well, it's the same thing with the fucking perverts that are employed by the dude. Yeah, he thinks it's okay for him to do it. He's the boss. And in order for you to get a paycheck, you have to listen to your fucking pervert boss talking about how cute little girls like Kim Jepsen are. When I worked for Dave Roop, let me tell you how old Kim Jepsen was. She was 14. Kim Jepsen was 14 years old, working at Swedencream in Chapel, Nebraska, while I was working for David Roop the first time. I was 16 years old. I was going to high school with Kim Jepsen. 16. And all summer long, I was getting on hot ass fucking roofs, doing manual fucking labor for these fucking perverts. Smooth talkers, sure. Nice guys, yeah. But do you have any idea how fucking sick it is that you're listening to a man who's over 40 years old salivating over a fucking 14-year-old? That's fucking sick. Now, here's how it is when you have an employee who's like that. He's gone. That's literally what happens. He disappears from the job site and never comes back, ever. It's not because somebody drove him up the mountains and shot him in the head like you guys want to suggest we should do with all these guys. No, it's because the boss said, I'm not having that. We have work to do. The stuff that we're working on requires numbers. Let me ask you something. Are you able to do your taxes when you've got somebody next to you talking nonstop about pussy, talking about a bunch of dumb cunts, how all these dumb cunts won't touch their penis, how you should go out this weekend and hunt some pussy? I've been on job sites with those guys. And I'm telling you, literally not one of those son of a bitches lasted to the end of the first day. None of them. Those fucking perverts, that whole group of 10 perverts that you see in the movies on a construction site, whistling at some woman who's walking by in a bad neighborhood in a fucking short skirt and a bright red fucking dress. I mean, shit. That's not fucking reality, you fucking retards. You don't like that word? Stop doing retarded shit. So what I'm going to do here, as soon as I'm able to find the phone, which I have been looking for, but I'm in a pretty pissed off mood. And not for no fucking reason. And I'm not taking it out on the wrong people either. If you're not going to help me turn in the evidence, then just fucking leave. Don't talk about torturing people. Don't go out of your way to talk about fucking killing people because you're making me a fucking accessory. All right? These people have actually made plans to physically harm people. No, I'm not going to fucking help you. Don't say that shit over and over and over again. And then, of course, when I have to call you out for the 8th time on it, and then you want to play it off like it was just a joke. No, it wasn't a fucking joke. It wasn't a fucking joke. You didn't say it as a joke. When you want to try to get away with it by saying it was just in frustration. No, you didn't say it just in frustration. Let me tell you something about your impulse to go fucking talking about threatening to fucking kill people. Talking about how it is fun to think about torturing people. That's what Joseph Michael Lopez was into. So I recorded a conversation with several people who are aware of this stuff the other day, and I'm going to play that whole thing. I'm going to attach that to this so I know it's loud enough for you guys to hear it. Of course, we got somebody on here who's wanting to harass me already. We already have fucking harassers on here. What are we going to do? Oh, wrong phone. Gonna take a picture of it to show that it's actually happening, that it's not a figment of my imagination. Not that this guy who keeps claiming he's going to look at it is actually ever going to look at it. No, he's going to talk about 10,000 other things. You know, I can't, I'm betraying their trust if I tell people that they're fucking drug addicts. Okay, I'm betraying their trust, right? Meanwhile, they're betraying my trust over and over and over again and don't care. I'm in a subservient situation, as always, because the people who are supposed to help me in these situations who work for the government don't care unless a friend or family is going to help. And friends or family, well, my friends and family were a bunch of fucking drug addicts. It turns out some of them even child molesters. It's not like they're going to volunteer this information to you. Oh yeah, Sean, I'll help you out. I'll help you out with this. I'll help you out with that. Oh, by the way, later on when you find out that somebody's a convicted sex offender, somebody who you've been friends with, and not only are they a convicted sex offender, but they're trying to use Natalie Bollinger's death as an excuse to victimize you and try to make themselves out to be a good guy, try to make themselves feel better. Man, I got to deal with so many fucking pedophiles thinking it's okay to try to fucking physically assault me. And so many people who think that because they either A, heard a rumor, or B, started a rumor that I'm a pedophile, that makes it okay to physically assault me. Now, I get to hear all sorts of people telling me that Andrew Wolnez is a pedophile. And I've asked them all. Every one of these people who wants to pretend, and I do have to say pretend, because none of these people have produced a single shred of evidence that Andrew Wolnez is, in fact, and indeed a pedophile. However, Andrew Wolnez wanted to pretend that I was a pedophile as an excuse to physically assault me, to threaten my life, to spread false rumors and try to get people to believe him and to allow him and even empower him to commit felonies against me. The day I met him, I got to hear right after I found out what his name was, because he got onto YouTube, got onto his YouTube account, typed in to get to my YouTube account, and started typing that he hadn't assaulted me and hadn't threatened me. And then started making a bunch of accusations. So I took screenshots of what he was doing. And then I blocked his ass. And then I talked to David and Jennifer, who told me that he was a fucking pedophile. David and Jennifer both insisted up and down that Andrew Wolnez was a pedophile. So when he came out of the library after harassing me on the internet, right after I got done talking to David and Jennifer, I'm like, fuck, this dude's over here fucking kicking my vehicle, fucking threatening me, getting into my vehicle, accusing me of killing a little girl in Colorado, wanting to use the excuse that he's got fucking 200 kids that he doesn't take care of. Sorry, 6 kids, 2 of them are girls. Well, okay. Yeah, that's what happens when you have sex with a fucking drug addict. No, they're not going to take care of your fucking kids. They're going to go out and do drugs. With his family and his friends getting a hold of me and telling me that he's saying that he's going to fucking kill me. Telling people how he's going to fucking do it. I have Mossam Gajan's arrest record, and I'm going to show it to you for the purposes of criminal justice. I have Scott Brown's criminal record as well, his arrest record, what he was convicted of and what he wasn't, and the over 70 aliases written down on him. Now, where the hell is the phone that I need? Obviously, I'm highly emotional. The person who wanted to type pee pee poo poo retracted their message. Calls himself CHVB Shoop Man. Great. Isn't it wonderful that you're forced to go to the media and social media to try to get help? And you have to deal with people like this guy. Great. And that's certainly helpful. Oh, he just changed his profile picture to something else. That's cute. He'll probably change his name to something else too. A lot of these profiles do. I had to get the guy who kept on piling a bunch of crap on me so I couldn't get anything done because he thought it was going to help, even after I explained that he's making more work for me and he's making it impossible for me to clear it out so that I can make room for that stuff. Finally, last night, he took it all out of here. Thank goodness. I gave him the BB gun and he took that. Thank goodness. I didn't fucking want it. Now, with him threatening violence over and over and over again, and trying to ask me if I will go along with him to do all of these horrible things to Andrew Wolnez. No, I won't. No, I won't. When you are making plans with me and then asking me if I will take part in it, you're not joking. You are actively making plans to commit felonies against Andrew Wolnez, and I am not going to have it. And if I have to post it up in fucking public because you are making me an accessory to your fucking crimes, no, it's not going to fucking happen. I'll help you turn it in. I won't help you get away with fucking killing a person. And when you're talking about taking a baseball bat to somebody, taking a weapon to somebody, you are threatening to kill them. That is what you are doing. Let me tell you about a guy named Sky Crawford. He took 3 blows to the head. 3 blows to the head from a baseball bat. The guy who hit him with the baseball bat is one of my predators. His name is Brock Graff, and he bragged about doing so. Sky Crawford is lucky it didn't fucking kill him. I know people who have died from less. I have seen people die from less. I've got a 2.5 hour video that I just recorded that's downloading because I was having a mental breakdown and I don't have any way to defragment. I don't have any friend that I can actually talk to that's not going to make it about them. I don't have the ability to talk to people who are that selfish. I am afraid to talk to people who are that selfish. People who I can say something to a dozen times, but they don't hear it because they're incapable. they're incapable of getting past that one nugget they got in their head, that one part that they heard and decided that they have a solution, and they're not going to hear anything beyond that because they're too busy trying to hold on to that thought so they can present their solution. And everything that you say between when they've decided that and when you take a breath, none of that is heard by them. When they interrupt you repeatedly and show you that they're not getting the point, that they're going out of their way to not get the point, and you've tried to talk to them calmly and collectively, and they're just going to interrupt and raise their voice and even yell at you, even though you haven't yelled at them, even though you're not raising your voice at them. But then when you finally do, you're the bad guy. When you finally raise your voice back, after they've interrupted you repeatedly, and you are trying to be nice, when they're interrupting you again and again and again, you can hear it, especially with the police. I stop talking because they're interrupting me, because it's their turn to talk again. So I stop talking and I let them talk, and I let them fucking lie to me and bullshit me, which is why I have it recorded that they do that. Do they show me that same respect? No, they don't. No, they do not. If you listen to the videos where it seems like they're listening, when you get to the end, you realize that they weren't. They were doing what's called funning me. It's also called temporary appeasement. Basically, you're pretending to give a shit until you find an excuse to hang up. Oh, you're eating up too much time. There's real crimes going on. Threatening somebody's life isn't a real crime? I got to hear that for over a year before Natalie was killed. And people kept on pushing that until I threatened my predators back. And then all of a sudden it's against the law. Yeah, that's right. I threatened them back in 2018. So yes, it's absolutely against the law. But it's only against the law for me. It's not against the law for them to threaten my life. By the time I finally threatened anybody back, it had been over a year since the first assault and the first death threat. It had been over a year. The very first assaults were in October of 2016. The very first death threats were in October of 2016. You know, if they're just threatening your life, that's one thing. If they've come at you with a fucking weapon, threatened to kill your friends and family, oh, Jesus fucking Christ, that pissed me off. Calling me up and telling me you're going to fucking kill Jamie Curtis and Zyler Cox. Oh, yeah, that's going to go over well. That's going to get me to stop harassing your friend. I wasn't harassing your friend except when I was told to by police. Why don't you ask them to stop? Why don't you get a hold of them and ask them to stop? Why are you assuming I didn't? After they told me or pretended like I was stalking them, I had no intention of ever getting a hold of them ever again. And I kept on telling people that. They're pretending that I stalked them. So people are fucking pretending that I'm a child molester and a rapist and a murderer. I can't go see my older brother or my support network. I'm having to rely on people who are not listening. They have a history of not listening or a history of abusing me themselves. And of course, police are telling me to go to these people for help. You pretend I'm not trying to get help. If I don't want to go to somebody for help who has a history of ripping me off and stealing my money and lying to and about me, of course I don't want to go to my mom for help. So last night there was so much crap in here. And I had to complain. Hey, I can't move this shit all out of here. I can't even move anything to organize. I can't even make a spot to organize things. And he finally started taking the stuff out. Now then there's the part where he wanted to do my laundry for me. I didn't want him to do my laundry. I wanted to do my laundry. I wanted that sense of accomplishment. It's something I can do for myself. I don't need him to do it. When I'm complaining, that's not what I'm doing. I'm making an inventory. I'm making a checklist. I've written down checklists for people so that they can understand. Not that it matters. They don't read it. Last night, those 4 papers that I needed to go over that feller with, he made it painfully obvious he just wasn't going to look. So I had to do what he wanted to do from the start, which is just let him have it and he'll read it. Now, how about the copies that he was going to make, right? So he keeps on trying to convince me not to go to all these other places to get the help that I fucking need now, because he's going to volunteer to do all that shit. So in those 2 days that he was washing my laundry for me, which I only let him do because he wouldn't stop fucking hounding me, I have the money to do it now. If you're going to help me how I need. He says, all right, I understand. I'll help you how you need. And then he's assigning my needs to me and helping me that way. That's how he's going to do it. He's just assigning in his head that I don't know what I need. After telling me he understands that what I need is someone to sit down with me, look at the evidence, and then call it in with me. Now, it's been over a week since he said that he would sit down with me to look at some evidence and then turn it in with me. The officer who I called and said, all right, I finally have somebody to help me with this, who's going to look at the evidence and make the call with me. And he didn't. And he didn't. And he didn't. And he was a no-call, no-show. And when he's a no-call, no-show, after he's made it impossible for me to get a hold of him, and it's my fault that he was a no-call. No, it's not. No, it's not. So I had to try to move stuff just so I could make a space to the door. Even after he took that stuff last night, there's still a bunch of heavy shit that's definitely in the wrong place. And the other guy who was going to help me, well, he didn't help me because this feller here was going to help me. And we went and did a bunch of other stuff. I don't like hanging out with drug addicts. I don't. They say ignorance is bliss. It was nice to believe that Shannon Alvarado was having the problems that she was having because she was a trauma victim. When I got there and realized that she was an alcoholic, that sucked. And even worse than that, before I ever went there, when she was continually inviting me to go there to California. Fuck it. I need to find those goddamn phones. And I probably shouldn't have started this video until I had the phones. Lots of things I probably would have, should have, could have. But I'm having a mental fucking breakdown from having to try to do this stuff when the people that claim that they'll help me are showing they're literally not going to. telling me that I'm intelligent, and then their actions show that they assume I'm retarded. They assume that they know better than me and that their assumptions are absolutely the truth, so they don't need to look at evidence. Then they, after offering to help me how I need, then they want to make it now I've decided that we're going to make it a trade. After telling you that I understand that you've got too much on your plate and you're overwhelmed, we're going to make it so that now, instead of me keeping my word to help you how I said I would, what I'm going to do instead is treat you like shit. That's what it ends up being, ends up amounting to. You want me to do those things, but you're not going to do those things with me. You're just going to pressure me to do those things. And until I have the resources and the money to do those things, you're going to keep on treating me like shit. Like, because I have to wait a whole fucking month to get my disability money. And then you've got an idea that's going to cost $1,400, and I make less than $900 a month in disability money. Maybe you should fucking sit down and do some math. If you're going to fucking throw it at me that I didn't do math very well when I'm this close to passing out standing up. And you want to tell me my math's wrong? Well, the dude was absolutely right. My math was wrong. The amount of hours that I was saying at $20 an hour for 100 hours is not $1,000. It's $2,000. So yeah, my math was wrong. I'll admit it. But then there's the parts where I'm not half zonked, where I did finally get some sleep. The mathematics of my situation, where there is so much of it, and he's wanting to say that we can. I'd say, can we go through one video a day? Because apparently anything other than that is going to be too much for him. So I asked him if we can watch just one video, and then he fucking disappeared. You should have come out. He said he did, but it sounded like I was talking to somebody. Yeah, I was talking to you guys. I was YouTube. I was speaking up about how this is a recurring situation. Until you find somebody who actually respects you enough not to treat you like you're a fucking retard, you can't get help. When they say that they're sorry and then that they understand it, that they're not going to do it again, and then they immediately do it again. No, they're not fucking sorry. They don't understand, or they're intentionally doing it. Is this it? No, that's one of the phones. I got phone after phone after phone full of evidence. Many of them are broken because of having them in my possession when people physically assaulted me, having them out when people were physically assaulting me. I had one that was in my pocket when I was physically assaulted, and it got crushed. But, that's a little bit different because it was in my pocket. And, of course, when there was the last physical altercation with Andrew Wolnez, the only one where I made any attempt whatsoever at defending myself, my phone was in my pocket. I wasn't recording him. He was over by my car yelling at. Oh, unstable fucking connection again. Now let me show you this. All right. There's about 2 hours remaining. And in that video, oh, come on now. In that video, I try to keep people's names safe. But no, I can't. Not after they've done those things. Not after telling me they understand that it's traumatic and telling me that they understand and they're not going to do that anymore. And then they do it again. No, the reason that it has to be turned in is because they're going to do it again. They've shown time and time again that they're going to do it again. I am fucking scared because this person is pleased and has fun contemplating hurting people in his spare time. Now, if I could go to the police with it, I would. See, what I need these people's help with is getting the police to do their fucking jobs. Making sure that there are consequences for them when they do these things to disabled people, when they prey on disabled people, when they lie about people who can't defend themselves because you have literally taken away their ability to do so. You have taken away everything that they have and made them dependent on others. At least I was able to get all these phones full of evidence, but now there's just the fucking sheer quantity of stuff that is in here that I've had to just stack wherever I can fucking put it. And I explained it to this guy a dozen times at least, that I can't take any more stuff. I need this stuff taken out. I am now having to try to hire somebody else to take the stuff that he keeps piling on me out. A lot of the stuff that I had and have had to replace because it is between paying somebody hundreds of dollars for a brand new part or smacking that metal a couple of times with a friggin' hammer over another piece of metal that's hard, fixing it myself. Well, I am fucking broke. All right. I now have some money, but that's money to work with. That's not money to waste. Now, if I decide to take some of that money and tip the people that helped me because I know that the amount that they got paid for what they did is not sufficient enough, let me do it without telling me what a horrible person I am or how that money could have been better used somewhere else because I paid those people to do something you wanted to tell me that you were going to do. Now, days ago, he took these pieces of paper, the most important pieces of paper that I had, because he wanted to push this he's going to copy it thing. He's going to copy it. This is his pet project, how he wants to take this out as one of his multiple pet projects to try to help me out. So when he disappeared for 2 days with those pieces of papers, and I had to try to get him back those entire 2 days while he's ghosting me. And then, of course, he finally is not disappeared anymore. And when he brings me back the papers, you know, there's the stuff that he wanted to be insistent that he was going to do for me, right? There's the parts that actually helps me to stop the abuse. And then there's the stuff that I can do for myself. So he did wash my laundry and I've been folding it. And now that some of that other stuff is out of here and I got a way to the door, then I can somewhat, due to the fact that it's a sunny day, tape up the parts where the tape wouldn't stick when it was raining, fix some of the parts where it was, you know, being blown apart and falling apart and actually work on it. All of the time that I had before that I set aside to work with him, that we ended up doing a bunch of other stuff, which ate up the time that I needed to do these things. That's something that I'm now having to take time out of my day to work on because he wasted so much time. Because he has not only no concept of time, but no concept of others. Now, this is very specifically a methamphetamines and alcohol related issue. It's not so much a heroin related issue. Someone who's strung out on heroin isn't going to come up to you and volunteer to help and talk 400 miles an hour. They're just not. Now, Natalie was different from most drug addicts in the fact that when she said that she was going to help me to do something, she did make the time to try. These people, when they say that they'll make the time to try, what they mean is that they'll make the time to try literally anything except looking at evidence and turning it in with me. They'll tell me to set it up, or we'll agree that I'm going to set it up, and then there's what they decided that they're going to project onto me that I agreed to. No, I fucking didn't. You bullied me into it. If I do these things that you bullied me into, then you'll help. First, it was you're going to help. You're going to do the things that I need. You're going to help me with me to do those things. And then you wanted to make it a trade. And then you wanted to make it we're only going to do it your way. Meanwhile, I tried it your way by myself repeatedly. When we're going to try it your way with you and me, when is that going to happen? That doesn't. You never get around to it. You set it up and don't show. This is how we get stuck in the freeze loop. The issue is not resolved. There's been no effort to actually resolve the issue. There's a bunch of blustering bullshit, but there's the fact that I'm stuck relying on a drug addict nonetheless. You know, when you've got a trauma victim and you're not used to somebody who literally was just in a traumatic experience coming to your house and talking to you 100 miles an hour. But you are used to your meth customers or the people that you do meth with, or, of course, the person who's bringing you the meth. You're used to them doing that. Or police officers who have to deal with a whole bunch of meth addicts, both inside of houses and out on the streets. And mind you, I know more meth addicts in houses than on the streets. And police officers are constantly having to deal with these fucking meth addicts. And they're geeking and tweaking and freaking and moving all sorts of weird ways. And then meanwhile, there's me who has Tourette syndrome, who does this and this when I'm fucking extra fucking super scared. Well, that's just going to get me treated like I'm on drugs. If I do anything to stim because I'm scared, I'm going to get treated like I'm on fucking drugs. My friends and family who knew that I had Tourette syndrome didn't fucking care. Eventually, they forgot that I had Tourette's, mostly because I have to mask it while I'm in public. And while I was homeless, I was always in public, and that is hard to do. It is hard to hide my Tourette syndrome, and people want to keep on recommending, oh, if I take drugs, then it'll fix the problem, because these drugs always work. These drugs always stop your tics from happening. No, they don't. The problem with the Tourette syndrome drugs is not only do they make my Tourette's worse, but they fuck with my head. They make me incapable of thinking and communicating. They also, many of them required me to have a liver function test every 2 weeks. Yeah, that means every 2 weeks you got to set it up to go to the hospital and get blood drawn and get a bunch of other tests going on because you're taking a pill because you do this and do this when you're nervous. Well, whether on the pill or not, when I'm nervous or scared, it's still going to happen. It's going to be much, much worse, regardless of those medications. And since those medications make it worse to begin with, now I'm even more like this, and I'm getting made fun of because people want to pretend that I'm a retard because I do this, and call me a retard because I do this. or pretend that I'm on meth because I do this and this, so I must be fucking experiencing some sort of drug-induced fucking convulsions. No, I have Tourette syndrome. How difficult was it for my mom to call these places with me and tell them I had Tourette's? She's never gonna. And now she's fucking dead. Good riddance to bad rubbish. My mother was a horrible person. You want to pretend that I owe it to her to pretend after she's dead that she was a good person? No, my mother did a lot of horrible shit that is on par with fucking Hitler. My mother would have done far worse things than Adolf Hitler, and she would have done them in the name of Jesus if people would have listened to her. Thank God most people didn't. Oh my God. Let me check every pocket I got on everything that I've put on in the last 2 days and see if there's a possibility that the phone is in there. Then these people want to get angry with me or fucking pissed off at me because I'm frustrated that they're making things impossible for me to get done. And then they want to interrupt me and say, oh, I was just trying to help. And yeah, that's the problem, is that instead of listening to help me how I need, you're deciding what help I need and making it worse, even after telling me that you understand and you're going to stop doing it. If you tell your husband, hey, when you piss all over the fucking toilet seat, it's disgusting. I have to clean up that toilet seat before sitting on it. Do you really think that I want to sit on your piss? And your husband says, I understand, I'm going to stop doing it. But instead of stopping pissing on the toilet seat, you notice he's pissing on the toilet seat all the time. And then you confront him about it. Because it's obvious that even though he said he was going to stop, he's now doing it on purpose. And you say, hey, could you please stop pissing on the toilet seat and leaving it there? It's disgusting. And he says, oh, it's fine. Piss is sterile. I'm just pissing on the toilet seat to clean it. That's what I've been doing the whole time. Oh, you got to go to the bathroom? Here, hold on a second. Let me go clean the toilet for you real quick. That's not an intelligent way to think. You've identified that your behavior, your slovenly, disgusting behavior of leaving urine on a fucking toilet seat, you go from saying that you're sorry and you're going to stop to immediately doing it every time you go to the bathroom, even if you go poop. Instead of pooping, you're going to piss on the toilet seat after you're done pooping just to sterilize it in case something that was on your butt might infect her. And this is how you're trying to sell your cockamamie bullshit. Now, instead of rectifying the situation and saying, yes, I understand that pissing on the toilet seat is pretty fucking gross. I understand why it's gross. And I'm going to stop. And then stopping. What's worse is when you say, all right, I get it. I understand that pissing on the toilet seat is disgusting. You've acknowledged that the toilet seat is disgusting, that doing that is disgusting. But now you're going to try to justify that disgusting behavior should be acceptable. Or that it should be acceptable, at least for you. You understand how if a stranger comes into the house, and you're going to make up this shit too. Oh, well, I understand if a stranger comes into the house, how you wouldn't want something that came out of their penis to touch your butt. But I stick my penis in you, and our kids are proof that you let me stick my penis in you. Oh, I understand how it's gross for somebody else, but it should be okay for me because we have sex. Now, obviously, these aren't any of the things I'm having to deal with because it's not a sexual thing. But I'm having to try to present it in a fashion where you're going to think about it as a rational fucking person. Like, yeah, it's wrong to fucking assault somebody, and it's wrong to rape somebody. Both of those things are wrong. But most of you only care in the case of rape because we're taught we're not supposed to care about men. We're only supposed to care about women. Apparently, the police only exist if you're a woman, but that's not always true. We get to see that the people they're most likely to let off the hook and help out are young, pretty females. Very specifically young, very specifically pretty, and very specifically female. Although cops are also, for the most part, being nice to old people because when people see a cop do that to a homeless person, they're like, right on, go cop. If they do that to a fucking person, people are like, that is fucked up. Now, I don't know how far into this video, and I'm obviously talking a lot because I'm frustrated. This is my version of stimming, basically. This is my version of telling a friend who actually cares what's going on, because I don't have a friend who actually cares, who's going to listen to what's going on, to actually listen, to actually understand. And then, of course, we get these folks on here, these people who want to get into the chat and they want to troll me. Some of these people are people I know in real life. Some of them aren't. The Rasputin thing, I get that a lot. A lot of people in real life make comments like that. And no, I'm not going to pretend that those people are the ones typing at me. Let's see. Get the camera up and we'll take a photo of it to show that the situation is true. And because it's a photo of it, it's time and date stamped. And what are we going to do with this Jason person? I'm going to go over here. I'm going to go to hide user on this channel and they disappear. No more problem. How about this shoot man who wanted to type about poop? Hide user on this channel. No problem. Wouldn't it be nice if I could do that when Andrew Wolnez pulls his stuff? Wouldn't it be nice if I could have done that with Chris Stafford or Massimo Vijon? If I could just click a button and they can't mess with me anymore. But that's not reality. It's kind of like there's a lot of people who don't know anything about the situation or watched one of these Natalie Bollinger group things and are all up in arms and just wanting to be a jerk to me. And they get onto my channel and they're just jerks. There's two sides, but they're not going to hear my side. They're just going to project their assumptions on me as if they must be the truth. Kind of like the folks who wanted to say that they would help me, and then instead of helping me how I needed, I get multiple peoples who have different ideas of what I should be doing, and also hatred of one another. So, for example, Aaron Cockerham and Carl Rogers. Aaron Cockerham was threatening to kill Carl Rogers for her involvement in trying to help me. But Aaron Cockerham was also pretending to be Missy Johnson's sister and pretending like she was going to help me. And one thing that none of these people were letting me know is that Carl Rogers and this Aaron Cockerham and Missy Johnson were all having arguments in these Natalie Bollinger groups, like crazy arguments, saying schizophrenic crazy shit. Like Missy Johnson was typing that her and I were in love and we're going to get married. Are you fucking kidding me? Holy shit. This is a woman who pretended to be somebody else. Many people do that. They make fake profiles, steal other people's pictures, and pretend to be those people. I only did that once. I did that so that I could make a Facebook profile so that I could destroy my real Facebook so that people like Joanna Taylor Smith wouldn't use the stuff on my Facebook as an excuse to harm Natalie Bollinger and Alicia Bollinger and Maddie Boa. Meanwhile, Natalie Bollinger did exactly the opposite. They made fake accounts to harass me and threaten me and intimidate me and threaten my friends and family until I reacted so they could play victim. Making literally dozens of accounts before she was killed. At least 30 accounts before she was killed. They also made fake Sean Schwartz accounts to harass my friends and people who are no longer my friends. After Jerry Sparks and I stopped being friends while I was in Virginia in 2016, we stopped being friends then. Later on, when she was pretending she was going to help me over the Natalie Bollinger situation, which, by the way, she helped me make my YouTube channel. So she did help me, sort of. Right? Her and I stopped being friends over her son making a racist post about Colin Kaepernick, about harming Colin Kaepernick for not saluting the flag, saying that an American soldier should punch Colin Kaepernick in the throat, which could kill him because he wouldn't stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. You know what? Don't tell me that America's not fucking Nazi. Don't tell me that Tyler Frericks is not fucking Nazi. And then his friend wanted to get a hold of me and say a bunch of racist crap. I had just gotten a phone that didn't fucking work for my birthday from Alicia Bollinger. A busted ass goddamn phone that was in Alicia Bollinger's name. And I shouldn't have been arguing with that racist asshole. I had already blocked Jerry Sparks. I'd already blocked her son, Tyler Frericks. I had already blocked all of those people. So I shouldn't have been arguing with him. And I admit that. When the autocorrect, I was finally sort of able to figure that out. I was glad that I was able to tell him to go fuck himself instead of it saying go duck yourself. But then when I had to try to communicate with Natalie and Alicia Bollinger with that busted ass goddamn phone that used to be Natalie's and Alicia had in her name and it didn't fucking work, well, obviously that wasn't a happening thing. I couldn't use the phone to communicate with him. It was fucked up. And then I'm an evil person because it's fucked up. And Alicia Bollinger's typing shit like, you showed your true colors. Like, fuck! Fuck! Meanwhile, I was literally stranded in Virginia at that point. Stranded there. I had no money to go anywhere else. I was severely fucking dehydrated. Had been for days. I was having a medical fucking emergency. I wasn't going to Natalie's house to fucking rape her and murder her fucking family. Like, seriously, she was on fucking drugs. Actually on fucking drugs. By her own admission, on fucking drugs. Meanwhile, my predators get to pretend that them harming me is okay by pretending I must be on drugs because I'm having a mental breakdown. Well, don't you have a friend or family member that can help? No, I fucking don't. I don't have a single friend or family member who has any respect for anybody. They're all selfish fucking drug addicts. All of them. The ones I thought were fucking sober, I was 100% wrong about. Brenda Dickinson, because she had cancer. She was on opiates. Now I want you to understand that whether the doctor fucking gave you these opiates or whether you got them off the fucking streets, they do the same fucking thing to you. The shit you're getting from the doctor is even better than the shit they got on the streets. So when you tell me that you're not acting like a fucking heroin addict, that these are the pills the doctor gave you, that doesn't mean that you're not fucking addicted. Most of the people I know out here trying to score this shit on the streets didn't start off addicted to fucking heroin. They started off getting government fucking pills, got addicted, and then got cut off. They were fucking addicts because of the help they were getting. Then I get treated like I'm some fucking moron when I tell doctors, hey, maybe you should stop trying to convince me to take fucking opiates. I told one of the doctors who was offering me opiates, I said, here's how it is. You guys have been told by the state that you need to reduce the number of people you're putting on opiates. You are creating a fucking heroin epidemic. I'm not refusing to take heroin because I'm a bad person who doesn't want to take drugs. I'm not refusing to take it in pill form because I'm a bad person who doesn't want to take drugs. Well, you guys want to pretend I'm on drugs, and then your solution is for me to take drugs. Holy shit. I'm not on fucking street drugs. I didn't buy my cigarettes off the street. I didn't get my cigarettes from a shady fucking dealer. If I happen to get marijuana, I did not get it off of the street. I got it from a dispensary. Meanwhile, with these guys wanting to offer me opiates, and opiates don't even touch it. Like, if I tell you that your opiates don't even touch my pain, maybe you should listen to that instead of trying to tell me that maybe I could take a bigger dose. No. I don't have an immunity built up to that shit. What the fuck makes you think, as a doctor, that giving me more of something that my body isn't able to handle is going to be helpful? I'm not coming to you because I want drugs. I'm not here because I want appeasement in the form of opiates. When my back is fucked up and I come to you and tell you that my back is fucked up, we need to take a look at my back, not just automatically assume opiates. I'm sorry, I'm overwhelmed with looking for this phone. This is one of the things with trying to spend all of this time having to try to emergency fix whatever problem somebody has created for me by not understanding. I'm not saying that their intentions aren't good or weren't good to begin with. But once you tell somebody that something they're doing is harmful to you, and then they start poking you with that stick, when you say, hey, if you poke me with a stick, that doesn't just aggravate me, it prevents me from doing my taxes. So when I'm telling people that I need them to stop poking me with a stick, that doesn't mean jab me 8 to 10 more times. It doesn't mean go get your friends and tell them that I'm a horrible person who won't let you jab them with a stick. So they should all come jab you with a stick. Whew, is this it? Oh my God, yes. I finally found it. Ah, fucking goddamn it. Now what's it doing? Telling me my system is out of date. Huh. So what I'm gonna do to begin with, I told you that I was gonna take this phone here and I was gonna, I'm gonna start this video over because nobody's gonna listen to this much of me having a panic attack to get to the part with the actual neighbors. Now there's that going on. Now there's neighbors with the lawnmowers, so it's not gonna get done. I mean, literally, that's fuck it. When these things are ghetto blasting, you can hear everything. Oh, come on. Alright, I powered it on. We'll turn the volume all the way up. Now, this isn't the way that I want to do this, but I don't have anyone helping me. I should be doing this with a friend or family member who can verify that I'm working on this stuff. But instead, I'm having to go to you guys so that at least it's recorded that I made the effort. Not that any of these people who offered to go to these places with me and miss the meeting are actually going to listen to the recordings. So then we go to this thing and we have to, when I press a button, it's not actually registering it until a second or two after. So I do apologize for that. We'll go down to Bluetooth on. Mind you, I've got about 30 recordings like this or similar to this just in the past couple of months. When it comes to, hey, look at evidence and help me turn it in, no, violence is always these people's answer. I don't get it. Well, that does my bestest. Thank you. Somebody stopped and let me cross, so I said thank you. Still having to record everywhere I go because Wonez won't stop fucking with me still. Well, yesterday, like, his family isn't allowed to fuck with me either. That's in the protection order. It's
written in it.
Okay, yeah.
So she was getting a hold of me, gaslighting me, and calling me schizophrenic on my fucking YouTube channel last night. I guess her name is it Sandra? At least the person was claiming Sandra Wolnez. Sandra Wolnez, I think.
Hear the traffic is the reason my voice is
so it's somebody trolling and pretending to be his mom?
Because I think this might be his ex-wife's life. Oh my God. He's using my ex-girlfriend's first name, Cassandra, and then putting his last name.
Yeah, they've done this before. It's not just him. There's a lot of them. They have these tactics, and they'll share their fucking stalker tactics with the other people they're using to stalk me. It's fucking stupid.
I need some thing. I'm fucking lost a tooth somehow, or a chunk of a tooth, and then my fucking tongue's hurting really bad. I don't know why.
Well, go with this way with me. All
right, I pause just for a second. After all of the copy stuff, how this guy was going to make copies, I still had to take those copies because after 2 days of doing everything but, he still didn't make those copies. So those are down at the place that I got the copies here made. I got a whole box full of copies. And while this is continuing to play, I'll pull out some of that stuff just to show. But that feller, the stuff that he said that he understands and he's going to help me how I need, he was going to make copies of those. He still didn't. So I had to take him down to the copy shop and tell them to not to rush it. I'll come and get them next week. I know how much work they put into getting me what they already got me. And it was well worth it to go to somebody who was actually going to do it. Not make promises or try to bully me into letting them do something that they're not going to do. They're not going to get around to doing it. All right? If I wait for you to do it in your own dear sweet fucking time, I don't want that help. I am willing to pay for the help I need. I'm not willing to pay for help that you're not providing. I'm also not willing to pay for help that I already told you that's not what I need you for. I apologize for interrupting so much for such a long interlude after all the shit that you guys have listened to already.
I'll fucking chase you something to drink at somewhere that I can actually do so. Just let me put a goddamn telephone in my pocket. I a recording device. Run my fucking mouth and try to pretend like the F word is fucking popular still.
I thought we were trying to work things out, but I've been breaking her down, dude. I'm like, okay, you know, like, and so what do you want to come out of it? I said, but if not, I'm moving on Saturday. So I'm mad. I'm like, well, I didn't know.
And here you are, not in Montana. I said, and here you are, not in Montana. So I got a question for you. That day that Wolnez was fucking screaming at me, and you thought he was screaming at you?
The other night?
Oh, he was screaming at you again?
The other night, like, fucking like so?
I didn't realize he was doing that. He's been doing that with me too, but people pretend that I'm making it up.
No, he's a fucking loser.
Yeah, I've seen that mask, but the problem is the mask doesn't work when you recognize his voice and his fight. But also I have recordings of him without the mask. The thing is that I need someone to go in with me and literally turn it in with me, more than one person at a time. Like I keep on going to these folks who are also his victims, and they're like, the cops won't listen to me, or yeah, I'll go in with you, and then they never come up with a time or a day to go in with me. About it's too early for the liquor store to be open.
Yeah.
They have the cheapest drink. I think 10. Nope. I quit drinking over 25 years ago. And I still go to the liquor store. Yeah, but you what? 300 milligrams. Jesus Christ. Hold on. And I just didn't move. Not even move.
Yes, that is seriously somebody who knows that I'm recording, is aware that I'm recording, and is telling me about the drugs that he's trying to sell. So, this is also a guy who knows I don't do drugs, and much like many of the people out here, he just forgets. And instead of yelling at him like I want to, I let him keep on talking. If I have to record this stuff to show the truth of what it's really like trying to get help out here, then that's what I got to do, even if people are going to be hateful and angry at me.
Got 40 something on there. I'm letting you go. It's up to you.
On the bright side, I always steered clear of drugs.
Oh, man, this thing's fucking up in the system.
When I was a kid, I grew up on fucking medications they give you in the system. Pretty much every kid's on fucking Ritalin. Well, a lot of it also is when a kid is fucking molested or fucking raped or beaten, basically they're told to stop being a pussy or stop making shit up. And then they end up suicidal and in a much fucking nuthack. And then after they've been in a nuthack, they're called mentally ill. And after that, nobody cares if somebody beats on you or fucking rapes you. You're mentally ill. You must be making it up. You must be a drug addict. And then, of course, there's the you chose it. Because there you are. You've got your spouse who is beating on you every single day, and you are dependent upon that spouse to pay their part of the bills.
Yeah.
Or you're going to end up homeless. So then, you decide to stay there so you don't end up homeless.
Yeah.
And you're told you chose this. You chose to stay there. But then, when he beats you for the last time and spends, what, or she spends, what, 30 days in jail at most, and the bills don't get paid, and you out homeless anyway, and then people are like, you chose to be homeless. You're allowed here, right? All right.
So I wanted to drag it out of that. Pretty much do the trick one. Like, why are you putting something out like this? Like, so that you tell you to fuck off. So she was like, still matter of time to go to the talking.
You get whatever you want.
Breakfast sandwich.
It's right. So much fun.
Breakfast sandwich. Did you make it this morning? Yeah, I went to biscuits. Or the those nothing.
Now that he's shorter than me, I like to talk down to him like he's a child. It's a good little chipmunk.
No,
Just don't go after my nuts.
so she pretty much admitted that she broke up with me coming over here. you think that I was trying to change. I'm like, you are a fucking piece of shit. You're dumb.
Hey, you know what? It ain't her fault that your rear goose is now loose as a goose.
And then, you know, how she still stays at over my mom's, and but she tells me that she's moving. I'm like, you're not there. I'm like, you literally totally fucked up the job itself. I'm like, it's on you, not me. You know, basically just telling her how it is.
That's close enough. Penny. All right, excuse me, Mr. Headline Nubian, is that correct? We're all African by ancestry. You just happen to be bleached like me.
We all do.
I never took mine. Be safe, sir. What I'm worried about is that a lot of people have let me know about Wolnez. Dozens of people have seen it, and nobody has helped me to turn it in.
I honestly, dude, I'm waiting. I mean, I'm actually happy to do one together. What a fucking baseball bat doing?
Well,
Bring his neck out a little bit.
that's the thing. You're not the only person who makes those recommendations. Which way you going?
This way. I was gonna say,
Pretty much everybody is saying they're going to go beat his ass, and then
$7.69.
You want to
From the drive-through liquor store. Or from the drive-through fucking tobacco store. You do realize they're only $7.69.
I do, but I can't make it down there every day. However, today I'm feeling like a trooper because you're here to keep me safe. Is that agreeable?
Yep.
Are you pushing all the way there?
You know, fucking. Oh, you haven't heard, huh? So, like the first week I was out here, I hopped up off the road and I just ran into the guy and my buddy popped me. This is embarrassing. That's my turn. Now, he's like, what little guy? What? He's like,
That just makes me want to make fun of you. But not for the reason.
oh no, my buddy was like, oh, hi little guy, are you okay? Like, shut up, put me back in my car.
Although I am going to tell you that, and as much as I don't want to admit it, I am pussified. So I'm going to stop right up here, and I'm going to give you a cigarette so that I can have one, so that I can sit down. Holy shit.
Cares a waste of fucking time and money.
I know, and I'm trying to turn them in too. They do the same thing, but nobody turns it in with me.
Every time you fill out an intake form,
They get money.
they get money. They admit you admit you're a drug addict, that's like an extra $2,000 in their pocket.
Well, here's the problem. I'm not a drug addict.
They were gonna. They told me, oh, we're gonna access your fund for you to go to a hotel so you can go. It's been 2 months. You go to my hotel word. Sorry, it's been 2 months. Where is my hotel?
Here's where my ass gets like uno momento por favor, and you can eat that fucking happy time breakfast cheers too if you want. No peer pressure.
So she made me really feel like I'm shit, dude. Like she just lied the whole fucking time. It's like, bitch, you saw an opportunity, you took it, and now you're in my fucking house.
There you go.
You fucking don't care.
Well, I'm sick of having to record every moment in public, and then I end up recording all the stuff that is everybody's personal business. And then when I have to post it on the internet, I either have to figure out how to fucking edit that shit out because it's really nobody's business and not anything involving my case. But then there's the part where a lot of it does. A lot of people's personal lives, it's not that they don't want to help. It's that they are literally fucking overwhelmed with psycho goddamn nut jobs. But the problem is that I've got at least 12 victims of Andrew Wolnez, yourself included and myself included. At least 8 of them victimized specifically in connection with not wanting to fuck with me when he was wanting to threaten them into doing so, telling them that they had to do this, that it's their duty to fucking run me out of town and shit like that. I got to hear all sorts of stuff that he was fucking saying. But the problem is people when they wanted to come up and tell me these stories, I wasn't prepared because I wasn't recording because I wasn't expecting it.
Mm-hmm.
Then later on, I had to try to get them to talk about that fucking story again. Hey, what happened there? Oh, I don't remember now. Okay, well then fucking that's useless. You don't remember what Andrew Gomez told you? And you literally came up to me and said, hey man, he was gonna fucking start a fight with me because he came up to me with that fucking you're a chimo bullshit. And I was like, no, dude, you don't fucking do that shit. You don't go fucking accusing shit like that. And no, we're not going to go fucking getting our asses put in prison because you're being fucking stupid. And by the way, we don't have any drugs. Like most of his drug buddies have come up to me and given me a lot of his information I don't fucking want. I asked him not to. I have literally dozens, so don't worry about you being threatening towards him and saying taking a baseball bat to his head on multiple recordings, because the fact is that I've got literally dozens of recordings of people saying exactly those things. It's not just you. But the thing is, if people would stop talking about doing these horrible things to him that they never actually get around to and work together to turn his ass in, then we could put a stop to it. Like, even his own daughter was contacting me, getting a hold of me. I have the text messages from her. Her name's Whitney. Yeah.
How old is she?
She was 20 when she was messaging me 2 years ago.
What was his name?
Well, she sent me some messages that were sent by her dad and also informed me that he was calling her mom and threatening her and fucking cursing at her when he found out that she was talking to me.
Dude.
Can I use your lighter?
Yeah.
Sorry, I don't have my recording device out, but you know I'm recording.
I'm going to pause for a second because I just found one of the videos of that guy, the one that I was talking about where Andrew Wolnez was violating the protection order, screaming at me.
I'm recording all the time anyway.
Yeah, he's...
Like I said, phone's full of evidence. So this phone no longer connects to YouTube. So none of these links are actually useful, which sucks. However, it's during the right after the first incident with Wolnez, March 16th. So this is with another one of the victims, and her name is Valerie. Fuck it.
My name is Valerie Lynn Merritt. I was born as Valerie Lynn Hutchinson, and I am letting everybody know that Sean over here has permission to use me as a witness from out of Helping Hands and currently with Andrew Wolnez in the first incident I seen with him going by.
Now, I also have that incident recorded. So twice that day, he violated the protection order while she was with me. And the one I'm looking for in specific is the one with his daughter, Whitney. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to press play on this while I look for that, even though there's only 2 viewers.
He's fucking... Like, when he was trying to yell at me, a bunch of the other homeless, like, we all kind of stood up and said, what? Why don't you come over here and come closer? And there's like 8 of us at this point. We fucking rode off.
Was that one of the situations over me, or was that just him fucking with you?
No, dude, what kicked us all off was him again. Was the fact that he found out about being Cassandra. I'm sorry, but fuck you, dude.
You're fucking disabled too. Also, he likes fucking with people that he knows are schizophrenic because nobody's gonna fucking believe him, like Valerie.
No, but one of the funniest things I've seen him do, though, okay, was fucking with somebody like that. Okay, remember the porta potty?
Fucking drug. I remember the porta potty.
The office is what a lot of the dealers used to ask.
Yeah, I went in there and cleaned up the fucking needles and the fucking foilies every
One
fucking morning. Yeah.
So,
I put new toilet paper in there every day.
Dora goes in there, right? And Andy fucking runs out this bitch full force like the porta potty itself and throws himself up bam! He slams himself back down on the ground. I'm laughing at him. All of a sudden, Dora come out like a fucking rage monster, chased his ass, and kept up with him for 3 blocks, bro. Up that hill, fucking, it was great, dude.
Yeah.
But Dora almost caught his ass, man. Dora would have caught him. She would have beaten up.
Well, I'm not sure if you notice a pattern of who it is that he is specifically targeting. It is very specifically disabled people.
I have no idea. I've been fucking out and about and doing shit all night. Now I'm morning for work. Still got a fucking cab tank. Don't tell her, but I got rid of like fucking 12 and mixed it. Come back and 5 bucks. Hey, anything going on in the house? Anything going on in the house? Oh, yeah. You know what? You broke up with me for having a fucking wheelchair. And now, you were not happy. Why did you keep doing that if it was that bad? Well, I told you, raise her out. Take it. You want to go. No, you thought. All right. So that's her lead on. You don't see him fucking this one in the video.
I try to avoid all of it.
And but you looked me in the eye and told me what happened, and it's the exact opposite of what happened in fucking corporate work. And it wasn't hers, wasn't nothing. He looked me right in the eye and fucking just let it all out. And I said, bro, I believe you. I don't think he took such a fucking shit.
All the folks who told me these things, when they came up, they were all excited, or I guess annoyed is the word, and they told me every detail. But then after they told me every detail, while I wasn't recording, when I was recording, it was basically like they downplayed all of it. Like, yeah, it's no big thing. It happens here every day. That doesn't make it okay.
Fucking, I know the cops are watching you. Okay, they're like laughing. When somebody came up to my house recently and wanted to start some shit 2-on-1, I had a bat in my hand. I didn't see Loftman and company fucking watching from the fucking 3 blocks down. They because I made them leave, and I was like, you know what, fuck this bat. Both of you come out right now. And I had the broken hip at the time, and I was still standing on it, ready to go before the femur detached. And 30 seconds after they leave, there's a knock at the door. Of course, Loftman. I'm like, what's up, dude? He's all, come on. He's like, what was that? I'm like, they wanted some. I invited them to come get some. They wanted the fucking, he's like, yeah, I seen it. He's like, you got balls. I'm like, yeah, I know. He's like, fucking start doing that, handling this shit. Fucking.
This one of the dumbasses I've been trying to turn in since 2022. And then when fucking Walnez pulls his shit, I got to turn it in literally to police officers that I'm trying to turn in that know I'm trying to turn them in. Are they going to do their jobs? Probably not.
Often works the night shift during the day.
I don't care what shift he works on. It's not safe for me to go to him. It's not safe for them to send Lothman to investigate anything because he's not going to investigate it. See, the saying, the enemy of my enemy is my friend. Well, as soon as I turn in somebody who's abusing me to police officers who have abused me, what's to stop them from working together with that person, as obviously, events have shown they have been? They'll ignore all of the assaults. They'll ignore the actual videos. They'll refuse to look at it. They'll send me broken links and refuse to show me how to use them.
That's why you send that to DA. You get an email address of one of the fucking DAs to start sending them all videos.
Another issue is I'm having to depend primarily on either tweakers or schizophrenics for help. Primarily, that's who his victims are. Well, I guess he abandoned his own family and threatens them frequently, then plays victim after the fact, same as he does with me. But the thing is, he's getting away with it because people are helping him. They are, instead of looking this shit up, they are believing him, believing that I'm a rapist and a murderer and a child molester.
And all the evidence already came out that you're not.
Yeah, but they're not looking at that, and nobody is spreading that to them or showing that to them. Instead, they're saying, "Oh, dude, I don't want to get involved," or, you know, one of the issues also is that people want to complain to me about what Juanez is doing to them, and I'm like, "Well, I'll help you to turn it in. Will you turn it in with me?" Like, I don't want to hear any complaints out of people who aren't trying to fix it. But the thing is, the people's idea of fixing it is ideas that they never get around to, and also don't fix anything.
I talked to that guy.
All right, I just wanted to make sure I didn't leave my phone back there. You mean Chris Stafford?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm going to pause there. There was something that I was going to say that I felt was super important, that something that he said brought up. Now, that's something that is common when it comes to trauma. Many times when you are in a traumatic situation, you know, and somebody is interrupting and saying things, sometimes that does spark a memory that's important. I'm not going to interrupt to tell you that memory because, of course, I've got 10,000 other things that I'll go off talking about if I do. But it's something important to be aware of.
Well, the thing is, people telling me that he's a loser or he's a little cocksucker or he's a fucking weenie and all this other stuff they're saying doesn't detract from the fact that he did what he did, and I have to be afraid every day because of that. I'm disabled. I can't get away. I'm not going to talk tough because I know better.
Okay, so here's the thing. You have undocumented paperwork that, you know, he's been arrested, right?
I've got it documented on paperwork. I've also got the recordings of you. I've got the recordings of Valerie. I've got the recordings of him actually going by and doing those things. I've got all the recordings, just nobody to turn it in with me.
Copy on email the DA.
Huh?
So basically, you email the DA.
No, what I need to do, I've already done all this stuff that people keep giving me advice to do. But the reality is, what it's going to take is somebody to look at the evidence, hear my side, and turn it in with me. Not focus on any of the other future steps, but the first steps are to look at the evidence and hear my story. And that's what people can't get past. Well, you can't get a lawyer unless you have a friend or family member. The first step is to go to a friend or family member and have them turn it in with you right away. And it's assumed that a friend or family member knows what the fuck is going on. But if they don't know what the fuck is going on, they're just going to sit there like a bump on a log. The cops here know that people just really don't give a shit. So if they can just sit there like a bump on a log and pretend all the shit that you guys all already verified is a delusion. Not cool. All right.
Yeah.
Go on. Since Mawson's place is down there, I'm going to cross here. There's a lot of folks that don't seem to understand that me recording a conversation with them is not the same as them looking at evidence and turning it in, or turning in the situations that happen with them either. A lot of people said they'd talk to the cops and tell the cops what was going on and to give their name to the cops, and I did. And then I went back to them. I was like, cops talk to you? No. I'll see you in about 2 minutes. Push, you honky bastard! Huh? Listen. That is an orange. Ew. It's not as cute as you might think it is. It's a salamander, though. You can get salmonella from salamanders. I wonder if one of them's related to the other in the naming district.
Probably.
Kind of like bookworm. I don't know.
All my clothes got stolen. I've been wearing the fucking same shit for like 2 weeks.
That's because you're homeless. You chose this. Did I say that right? Or do I need to say it with more hate and disdain? I mean, get a job, motherfucker.
Yeah, right.
Please, you good, stupid job.
You know, it's still mad when I got the hot fix for Christmas.
Never cared much for looks, always cared for nice.
Oh, that Liz bitch. Don't listen to her. She's dumb.
Yeah,
She fucking would try to fucking steal from her own mom if she could, you know what I mean?
that's one of the things about her messing with me is that she messed with me until she wanted something. Then she stopped messing with me. Liz,
She did what?
she was messing with me until she needed help, and then she stopped messing with me. When I first met her, she was going to help me, but
She fucking, all she does is fucking talk shit and work out, try to work out orders and shit.
I noticed. Sure. All right.
Yeah.
100 or no?
100.
All right. Hello, could I get 2 packs Crown 100 Red?
I'm going to pause it for a second. I got a tobacco pipe. And when I start running low on tobaccos, I take one of these and I roll it out into my tobacco pipe. That's because I'm addicted to tobacco. Now, when I smoke off of a cigarette, I don't always cough except the first one of the morning. But smoking out of a tobacco pipe is entirely different, and it about chokes me to death. So it's a situation where if I am smoking out of a pipe and coughing like a motherfucker, I do apologize. But also, sometimes I just start coughing. Sometimes I start choking on my own snot. And I'm sorry that I have that snorty thing going on. It's actually part of having Tourette's syndrome. But it does intensify and get worse if I have a cold. One of the other issues is that blowing my nose doesn't always work. It sucks because I've got big ass nostrils, a big ass nose, and this tiny little opening at the top. Sometimes it'll only go one way. You're welcome for telling you some really disgusting stuff. Not that anyone cares. Oh, come on now. Now that's not to say that I don't smoke pot. I'm just not going to smoke pot on camera. All the tobacco fell out.
Now, one thing I've been trying to do is when I do my running around, I try to run into somebody like you who knows what the hell's going on, or at least to some degree. The thing is, about half of the people that he's doing this to are schizophrenic.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean the other half of us can't do the right thing and turn in the fact that we know he's doing it to the schizophrenic.
I probably have it handled by the end of the week.
I just don't like the way y'all handle it.
Oh, no. Oh, yeah. I'm not going to say it's done, but I enjoy it. It's a good relief for me every now and then. I'm tired of people fucking people. Like, how, like,
The thing is, everybody Smith's violent. The thing that works is to turn them in together. One thing that nobody tries is turning it in together.
got a restraining order on him?
I have a permanent protection order against him.
So,
If he harasses any of y'all for fucking helping me or associating with me, if he fucks with my friends whatsoever,
that's still third-party contact.
that's exactly. And he's been doing that repeatedly. And instead of people, when they come up to me and tell me these things, instead of helping me turn in the fact that he violated the protection order through them and at them, and that includes you, that includes Seth, that includes fucking Nick and Seeker. Well, maybe not the dog, but none of us deserve that.
All right, so earlier in that, when he was talking about how, like, 8 of them, when Wolnez came up trying to force them to do that stuff and bully them, like 8 of them rolled up on Wolnez, letting them know that's not okay. I had a lot of people come up and tell me that story. They also told me that a woman named Ashley was very specifically the one who stood up to him and said that's bullshit. That stuff is not true. I already saw that. Sean already showed me that part. I'm already aware that that shit is bullshit. So it was specifically because of God, I have her first and last name written down somewhere in my papers. In some of my videos, I have it down as Ashley Farnsworth, but her last name is not Farnsworth. The reason I wrote it down that way is because she had told me once that Farnsworth was her brother. Turns out that's not actually true. But I suppose I should press play. I probably shouldn't have interrupted that part. I've told that story plenty of times before. Each person that was there has come up and told me, about the situation, within a couple of days of it happening, and I'd had almost all of those people come up and tell me, plus people from other groups of homeless. Some of those folks actually came up to me because Andrew Wolnez threatened them and tried to start a fight with them. So they came to me to let me know that Andrew Wolnez was doing these things, that they thought that, I should be aware that this dude was out to get me. When he was telling people that he was going to shoot me, telling people that he's got a slingshot and some fishing weights with my name on it. Shit, I got a slingshot and fishing weights. That doesn't mean I'm going to go fucking hurting people with it or threatening to hurt people with it. What I'm actually going to do is I'm going to end this video. I'm going to start this over from the beginning and I'm going to leave. I noticed at the very beginning of this video there was a lot of people watching, but me having a mental breakdown while trying to find all this stuff made it very difficult. Also trying to focus on this while looking for stuff, not working so good. So hopefully I can press play on this and just leave, and hopefully it'll stay connected. So y'all have gotten to hear quite a bit of it. This video is like an hour and something minutes long. So, it's not a short video, and there's multiple. And I know that with almost all those people, he's also already got personal issues with them. We're 35 minutes into this one. There's still 3 more people that we're going to run into. Because we run into a lady who knows a bit about a place called Fairfax in Washington State. And I do speak with her. When I tell you about what happens in those places, you don't want to hear me. You don't want to hear it from any of the other people that were in those places either. You want to believe that those things don't happen anywhere but on screen in Hollywood. It makes you feel safer. Makes it so you can go to bed at night. But those of us who have experienced it don't get to go to bed at night. We don't have that luxury. So I'm going to end this and start another one. But that doesn't make it okay. Just I'll back it all the way up to the beginning first. And I'm going to make sure that I take a picture here that shows that I did what it is that YouTube recommends when dealing with these kind of people. YouTube recommends calling the cops first, but obviously you've gotten to see how the cops have treated me when I tried. It's not very humane. When I tell you that I have these electronics issues, that doesn't mean offer to do a whole bunch of stuff electronically for me. That's not help. You could teach me how to do it. That would be helpful. With these people that I paid money to, thousands of dollars, I paid money out for people to teach me how to do stuff that a stranger taught me in 5 minutes. It's just sad.